Okay, hi. I'm here to show you how we're going to be taking this PC and upgrading it with this hard drive, 2 terabyte, and using this cable to connect it inside the computer. So that's the purpose of this how-to video today. So I'll be trying to show you what to do on, this is an MSI PC. So first of all, go to the back of this computer, and there are these screws here and here, and we're going to be removing those. So show you that, and you can just use your fingers. I think you could use a tool if they're too tight, but mine come out pretty easily. And on this design, this slides back just about an inch, and then you can pull it off and kind of lean it against something and put the thumb screws there. And then the same thing on this side. And one thing I forgot to do is turn the computer off, so that's key. One moment while I do that. So you want to make sure everything is shut down. So I'm going to go ahead and hit shut down on the PC. And while we're waiting for that to happen, we can see these other two thumb screws that are here and here. Sorry if I'm not getting that on video very well, but I'm going to remove those so we can get this other side panel off. And it removes in a similar way in that once the screws are removed, we simply slide it back about an inch, and then it comes off. And now we can come back over here, and I purchased this from Best Buy. This is a 2 terabyte drive, and then I needed to get this SATA cable as well. And so here's the drive, and ideally I would be using static straps, but just a caution, try not to touch any of those green, that circuit board there while you're not grounded, because you can actually damage the drive. And so what we're going to do is on this model, apologize if this isn't very clear, but what we're going to do is there's a carriage here that we can just pinch with our fingers and pull out, and pull that all the way out. And this carriage here, sorry about the camera, but I'll lay that right there. I'll try to get this to where you can see it from above. One moment. Okay. So, there it. That will work. So yeah, I don't know. You're seeing that? I think you can. One moment. Bring this down just a little closer. You don't need that for now. So we'll show you this. Again, here's the drive, and we're going to want the cables to be visible from the connection side, from this side that we pinched. And there's these screw holes here where we need to line those up. We've got 4 screws that we can use. So just simply gonna slide this in here to carriage. I guess that's what you call it. Again, try not to touch those components. Line up the screws. There we go. It's nice and snug there. And then we've got these screws. Need 5 of those real quick. I may have put them back in the box. Yes. Okay, so here are the 4 screws that came with it. And put those on there. Got a little screwdriver here. You can get it adjusted. Okay. There's 1 screws in. And 2 down, 2 to go. And my current computer only has 1 terabyte of storage, which was massive not too long ago. You figure you would never need more than a terabyte, but I have so many programs and data and files, pictures, videos, music that I need to upgrade. I'm full, and so there it is. There's a 2 terabyte. So let's take this over to the computer. Let me adjust the camera here a moment. And take it over here. I'll show you how we put it in. And this is my first time doing this, so hopefully that is of help to you. I mean, it's something that I'm doing the first time. I have watched another YouTube video on how to do it, but I've never actually done this myself before, but hopefully that encourages you that you can do it. So what we're going to do is we certainly want these to be in the same position that they were. And we have a little, on mine you can see there's a power connection already here. So all I'm going to do is fit this back to where I had it before and push it using the rails back into the computer until it clicks. Now this is the, as I understand it, this is the power connection. And we need to plug this in to the hard drive, which I'm not seeing at the moment. Let's see. Okay, that's not a mating connector. All right, let's see if we can find another one that is a mating connector. I'm not sure. There's a different kind. Or if this is just the male of the female. Let's see, that's not necessarily what I'm looking for. No? Okay, let me re-plug this back in. And, yeah, okay. So I'm not seeing the power that mates to that one. So let's see Here's another connection here, potentially. That will give us power. Is this a power? It could be. This is power. So here's one that looks like maybe it's a connector with power, and I just kind of pulled that out. It was stowed up in here, and it looks like it might be multiple ones. So that's as expected, right? So let's go ahead and plug that in to the back of this, and it'll only fit in one way, so make sure you look, it's kind of an L shape, and so the beginning of the L is here, if you can see. So we're going to plug it in the direction that it's asking us to. And so there's that plug. And I was told, yeah, you need this other cable here that goes to the motherboard. And this is the one I purchased. This is the SATA. It also has kind of an L shape to it. So let's plug in that side the way that it needs to go. Let me see if I can make this clear to you. So there's the L shape. Here's the little detent, and we'll plug that in here, okay? And then we'll push this back in. So apologize for that. A little bit of a rookie mistake. But yeah, it's kind of tight, but not too tight fit. And then push it till you hear the satisfying click. Now this, I understand, needs to go to the motherboard, and I looked at mine, and there's a little pass-through here, so I'm going to go ahead and poke this through the pass-through, which is just under here. So let me get up over here and see if you can see this, what I'm doing. So I'm just going to pass this around to the front of the motherboard, which is actually facing the other side. Your computer might be different, but I'm going to go ahead and tuck these back in where they were at. They were kind of tucked in back here. If I can, without disconnecting anything. Yeah, there we go. And let me get one hand free. It'll be a little bit easier with both hands, I think. So it gave us a lot of connectors, which is great. Like, there's lots of room for expansion on this model, but it's also kind of tight with all the cables to get them jammed back in there. Okay, I think I'm good on that. All right, so now let's go around the other side. You should be able to see, let me get this at a better level there for you. You should be able to see that cable that I just poked through. It's here now. So there's that SATA cable. And I went ahead and located these beforehand, but there are at least two SATA connectors. Let's see if you can see them. Right there. There's two. And so I'm just going to take this cable and should have put my light on. That's another tip. But I can just barely see. Hopefully you can kind of fill it in with your imagination here. It's pretty dark. But I heard a little click there. It seems to be nice and secure. So there's the part about putting them in. And I'll pause here, and then we'll start it up and do a setup video. So that's how you install it, and then how to format or get the drive recognized is a whole nother process, and I'll do that in just a second.